Yeah, we are live. All right, guys. This is Thunder E from Board at Work. I am back from my little trip. No, I didn't go to Comic Con, so I was at a buddy's wedding. Yeah, he said his wedding this weekend. That's a nice friend. Love you, man, but seriously, we need to plan these things ahead of time. Anyway, I have with me here Mr. Rod Scott from Tech Guy Smart Buy. How's it going, man?
What's up? What's up? Hanging out, recuperating from last night. Yeah.
Last night, what happened last night?
Party at 3 a.m. The
Okay.
young folks.
All right, and up is Mr. Samuel Babajide, Mr. Black Iron underscore man. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
All right, cool. So let's get down to it. Comic Con was this weekend. There's a lot of stuff that was announced, but I think we should start with the big ones. The ones that really shook up everyone this weekend. And I'll start off with Wonder Woman. We finally saw our first look at Wonder Woman's costume. And your thoughts, guys? What do you think?
I'll let Rod go first because he said something that was very interesting.
Actually, okay. I actually liked it. I just wish I had a bit more color of the Wonder Woman theme of the reds and blues and yellows. But I don't know. This could be a test or a version of it. But as far as like the warrior theme, I love it.
Okay, that's what it looks like right there. Just to show you guys, that's Wonder Woman. How about you, Sam? What do you think?
I like it actually. Someone, I think what Rod said earlier, it looks like Xena, and I think that was it. That nail on the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
She looks. It really looks like a Xena-esque kind of costume. Even the color scheme, kind of like the brown on brown, kind of earth tones.
Yeah.
But the thing is, would you really want to see a superhero in 2015, 2016, wearing the Star Spangled Banner?
No,
not at all.
There's no superhero would be. I mean, what you probably want is some of the colors in there, but I think we know very well in this universe that he has, those colors are not going to be bright. They're just not going to be bright.
Yeah, look at Batman, right?
Yeah, I mean, he has a black cowl and a dark gray outfit.
Not one yellow anything on him.
Anything, exactly. And we'll get to Batman in a second. But a couple of things I like about this is that, and again, if we go with what Zack Snyder said, he said he still hasn't filmed anything with her, and this kind of goes back to the rumors of they did a photo shoot with all of them. You know how Batman has that pose in front of the vehicle, and Superman has the pose on the building. That this was pretty much a photo shoot, but from her thighs, it looks like she's gotten bigger. So now it's just a tone work. So, we'll see how she looks like. But I like the fact that at least she doesn't look like she used to look, which was very skinny altogether. So I'm liking the look myself. I think she looks the part, and we'll see how she looks like as as Wonder Woman when the movie comes out in 2016 this year. So I guess everyone's consensus is we like it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the real big thing. Now this is just the teaser to the big thing. The big thing was they showed this. They showed the posters, but they also gave us a brief teaser of Batman versus Superman, and yep, that is it. I'm just gonna share the image out there, and then we'll describe it for you. It opens up with Batman, or at least a character who looks like Batman takes off a tarp, and he's fiddling with it, and he turns it on, and it's the bat signal that comes up, and then the camera pans, and it goes up into the air. You see the bat signal in the air, with the new bat signal. And then it's just rain, there's lightning, and you can see Superman floating or somebody floating, and then you see the red eyes. It looks kind of pissed. This is from people who were there. And then it pans down to Batman with his, just the white eyes and the armored costume, and he gives this smirk. A lot of people who were there say the smirk reminded of him. It was kind of a smirk of him saying, this is not my first rodeo. You know, I've been here before, so don't even think. Just because you can fly in the air and your eyes are shining, you know, that kind of thing. So that was just a little clip. I played it twice, and I want to get your thoughts on at least I know it's leaked online, so it's out there somewhere, guys.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, you can find it as well.
No, it's not on YouTube anymore.
They're pulling them, so catch them.
I'm looking at one right now on YouTube. It's done by Greg Welch.
Is that the one that's inverted? That's like where everything is like all the way around.
No, he basically it's more of a storyboard than actually the video. So it's basically just images, and then he covers a whole bunch of other things from Comic-Con as well. But yeah.
You can find it on the web. I think it's still on IG. Some people have it on Instagram. Some people have it on what do you call it again? On Vimeo. I think Vimeo is probably the safest.
Batman News still has it. Yeah.
Yes. Check it out there. But your thoughts, guys. So what do you think about?
But I like the whole idea that he has armor. Okay, dude has armor on, and when you see all three of them, there's a clip of all three of them on stage, and Cargill is obviously bigger. But Ben Affleck kind of does. He looks the part. Like, okay, if the shit goes down, he probably could hold his own. So yeah. he looks the part. You know, the Batman there looks the part. Superman looks the part, the statuesque, handsome, good-looking guy, and you can see looking guy. I think it works out. I like what they've shown so far. I like the whole idea that Batman is the one opening up the bat signal this time. But I'm like, why is Superman showing up when a bat signal goes off? You know?
Yeah, you see, that's my thing. Is he showing up, or is he telling him, "This is my city"?
Yeah, welcome.
You know what I mean? Like welcome or get out. Choose one. You know,
eyes though.
Yeah, you can see the eyes there, right? You can see the white glowing eyes. It's like, okay, I'm not here to mess around, like straight up. So how about you, Rod? Sorry, before we keep just lamenting on here.
Easily the best thing in Comic-Con for me. I read the description, so it's like, okay, it sounds cool. But when I actually spotted some footage, oh my god, I was so excited. It was like, yes.
And that was from a 40-second clip.
I know. They to me, they stole Comic-Con with just that one clip because the Marvel stuff was cool. But we'll get into the Marvel stuff later.
Marvel stuff, yeah.
But yeah, everything looked perfect. That's all I could say. Even though from that brief, quick clip, I mean, it was Snyder's dream of taking The Dark Knight Returns and putting it on film in a sense.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that costume, definitely, it is The Dark Knight Returns. Come to real live action, I guess, movie, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, the costume is so. I mean, it really almost matches what you see, especially in the anime that we released last year. I mean, we've read the comics, but the anime last year brought it to a newer generation, and the costume just matches so well. Like. I mean, when I saw the clip, and you could hear the crowd too in there, you're like, man, yeah. And the funny thing is that none of them spoke.
No audio.
No, I mean, no audio from Batman, Superman in there, and no audio from Cavill or Ben Affleck either. When they showed up, they just showed up. They're like, it's like DC came, showed the footage, dropped mic, and walked out.
Pretty much.
And they're like,
at this point, I guess. I was reading an article, I think, on Forbes, where it says, if this fails, it will be the most successful failed movie probably in history. And if it succeeds, it will probably be the most successful, movie in all of history. This movie is basically just ramping up to be.
This is going to be huge.
Yeah, there's no way this movie would not get to close as possible to the $1 billion line. There's no way.
No, it should. I think this movie, and I think a lot of people have said this. I think I was listening to what's his name, John Campea of AMC Movie Talk, and he said he had this quote. He said, "If this is a bad movie, it'll probably be slightly under $1 billion. He said if it's a good movie, you're looking at 1.5. It's like if it's a great movie, then Avatar is looking at huge competition right there.
I think they've also done such a great job of, of basically keeping the storyline and everything on the wraps, right? They've done a great job of controlling the content that's out there, and that really generates that much interest in it. And if they can make this last for another year and a half, whew.
They can. I mean, because they still have so much information to disclose. You still don't know what Batman sounds like. You still don't know if there's any other Batman vehicles since he's older, so there shouldn't be like one or two.
Just a Batmobile. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There should be a stable of Bat vehicles.
Oh yeah. Oh no, the Batcopter and all the other ones. Right?
We don't know if they're gonna even just not have him in there, but even name drop a Robin or something. Because if he's older, there's no reason Nightwing or whoever shouldn't exist.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing too. I mean, that was the rumor that there was a Nightwing, but no, there was no Robin. It was just Nightwing, pretty much. Yeah. And they had a falling out because just because older Batman, just from the comic books, you know how he is when he's older. He's just a grumpy dude. So
about the mission.
Exactly. So you can expect there to be a falling out in that scenario, right? Altogether. Yeah. So no, but I agree though. I mean, like, but it's funny though. You mentioned there's a lot to reveal. Iceman89 says, "I wonder how they're going to tie in all the characters in the pre-Justice League movie." The reason why I actually want to answer this question because a lot of people have been complaining like, "Oh, this movie has a lot of characters, man, a lot of characters." And then I watched the panel for Avengers, and I was like, "What are people bitching about?" I mean, like, Avengers has, if I do a roll call, Iron Man, War Machine, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Hawkeye, what's her name again? Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow. Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and Nick Fury. And then Agent 47, the chick was always following Nick Fury around. She was on stage. So that is 11.
And you still got Vision.
Vision, 12.
Didn't Josh Brolin come through with
Infinity Gauntlet? Going to play into this a little bit?
No, he's not. He's not going to play into this. So it's 12 characters.
Yeah, let's even mention the bad guys because you got Thanos.
Well, they said Thanos may not show up in this. He may just be. It might be an end credit thing also here.
Probably.
So, but and then of course Ultron himself, at least like James Spader, right?
Yeah.
So 13.
Him is not going to be in it, but you're going to have Ultron.
Yes, because which we'll get to in a second. Let's finish Batman first, but we'll get to in a second why. So people are talking about it, and then Iceman's asking how that come through. A couple of things. I was just going through all the forums this weekend and looking at a couple of comments from Zack Snyder as well as David Goyer saying, the repercussions of Superman in Man of Steel and all the things that happen will be played out in this movie. One of them is Batman. The other thing too is that there's no. I mean, if you want to tie in someone like, first of all, Cyborg is in this movie. We know that he's not going to be Cyborg. But he's going to be at least what's his name again? His character's name again?
It escapes me.
If one will get to, but Cyborg will be in this movie, and his dad, at least in the comic books and cartoons, worked at Star Labs, right? And you think about this movie, there's a bunch of Kryptonian armor lying around Metropolis, right? There's a bunch of dead Kryptonians lying around. At least there's Zod. You know that someone's either trying to clone, replicate,
somebody got his body. Yep.
Exactly. You have all that in there. So bringing in Justice League, Cyborg is an easy part because you can tie in Star Labs easily in there. Wonder Woman, we don't know why, but all we do know from rumors is that she's trying to find something of her people, and she infiltrated LexCorp. That's it. That's all we know there. And if the rumors are true that Aquaman is pissed and is an end credit, and he's only showing up because the oceans have been messed up. That's fine. I mean, like you've already you put it, as long as you put in the benchmarks and the main movie is still about these two guys, Batman and Superman. I mean, I think you're good. I think you've really covered all the bases you want to cover there altogether. So I know I hear the concern, but I think it will work out if it's still about those two characters and everybody else is filling in certain roles and positions, because it's not a Justice League movie. It's about the two biggest characters in comic book universe. Iron Man is not that big.
No.
You
The
know,
movie made him big.
yeah,
Yeah, the movie made Iron Man a lot more of a factor in comics books than he really is in real life.
yeah. So it is. He's not that big. I mean, Batman is bigger. Superman is just as big. You know, he's coming back. You know, and then you now have Wonder Woman. People forget that fact that women have been waiting for that true hero to say, yeah, we're tough, we're strong, and we can kick ass and still look sexy in the dress, right? This is that character. And if she comes out, she doesn't have to be fantastic. She has to do a good job. If she does that,
So
it's a wrap.
DC,
It's a wrap.
All they need to do is just have a situation where she's decking Superman. That will be it. Okay, all right, she can deck Superman. That's fine.
I'll punch her in the face and be like, "Watch your mouth."
Exactly, right? Yeah, something like that. You can do that.
I think the thing people never got is the Wonder Woman TV shows and a lot of stuff that people see on the anime for Wonder Woman. There have been so many different variations, making her kind of like a campy character, but people forget that she is the progeny of gods. She can go toe to toe with Superman, no questions asked. But people forget that she's a powerhouse in her own right. You know?
Yeah. That's probably the one aspect they didn't get into. Yeah, that's probably one aspect they didn't get into an animated series. Like they show how strong she was, and and what she's about. They never really. Like she never had to backhand anybody.
Well, the closest one is Justice League War recently. When she was going against Darkseid. I mean, she was basically the powerhouse holding Darkseid, where everyone was formulating a plan because she's like, look, you know what? I don't, you demon, I'll take you out. I don't care who you are. Stab you in the eye. If they bring that out, right? I think then you've really just wrapped those three together. But so far from that clip, I think we all agree that they really just hit the right tone to say it's 2 years away. But this clip and the rumor. My Yahoo feed is going through the roof of the awesome Batman Superman clip that just stunned Comic-Con. That's all. I saw one article there about Avengers, in a cool Avengers clip, but they were like Batman, Superman, Batman, Superman, Batman. When you're talking about Forbes talking about it in financial terms, that
speaks volumes.
Yeah, exactly. It's really building up there. So
the problem is Avengers. They tried to do it like a casting call. They had release of everyone who was going to be there last year. They did special editions of magazine covers with this person and that person. Now it's like, okay, we've heard about you guys. These guys we haven't heard about, they're kind of awesome too, This is going to be interesting. You might complain like the name is Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice, but the name basically says what it is. This is literally DC's answer to Marvel's Avengers. This is the Justice League. This is how it starts. Let's get it going,
I saw one, I think it was IO9 had DC, or somebody, maybe it's not IO9, but somebody basically, the title of the article is like, the gods of DC Universe were showcased.
Yeah.
And literally just put it down there, you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let's back up. But Iceman69 says Xena, LOL. It's like, I like Wonder Woman's costume, actually. Gal Gadot won me over. And then Spoon84 also says the reveal of Wonder Woman's outfit was my favorite part of Comic-Con 2014.
I might have hoped a little for something more modern, but you never know, right? She could start out with that costume and end up in the the kind of leotard-looking costume that she's been using recently in some comics.
Well,
it might change in Justice League,
Yeah, they could change it. So it's one of those things. Satisfaction was asking, what's the picture of the screen? That was from the teaser from Comic-Con for Batman versus Superman. So I guess we agree that that's pretty much still the show. But moving on to
the internet agrees. I think everyone and their mothers who never even heard of Justice League agrees that that's probably most likely the biggest news in tech/entertainment this whole week.
Yeah.
Pretty much so. 1 second, I actually skipped one of my images. The other big movie this weekend was this, Avengers.
Yeah.
And they finally did release their whole poster for Avengers Age of Ultron, where we can see, of course, the many Ultron robots battling Hulk, top right-hand corner, Hawkeye, who technically should be dead. That series.
Yeah, he's gonna get the short end of the stick. I mean,
Yeah.
his costume looks terrible, and he just looks terrible in the corner.
Yeah.
He looks overwhelmed.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Did I mention Scarlet Witch in my count? Maybe I didn't. I can't remember. Scarlet Witch, Captain America, Iron Man, Quicksilver, Thor, Black Widow, and of course Vision right here.
Hey, let's look at this Quicksilver again. Is that costume the same one that they? No, it doesn't look like it. No, okay.
No, it doesn't. But you know what? I'm kind of feeling. I kind of prefer the Quicksilver now in X-Men. As much as I ridiculed it and all that, I don't like this. I don't like him with this frizzy hair in modern day. Like I could take it in the 70s, how he had that crazy hairstyle, because that was almost like a period piece, right?
Yeah.
You know, but in this is present day, at least pseudo present day in a sense.
Share twins.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and he has this kind. Well, you know, we'll see. But they did showcase footage at Comic-Con, and I'm just going to read out the footage because IGN has a full description here. You know, of the footage from Avengers Age of Ultron. So they said the footage that was screened was pretty great in Marvel way, but also interestingly tonal, and started off light and funny and got dark as the reel went on. It opened up with the Avengers and War Machine himself, Rhodey, all hanging out in Stark Tower, dressed up and enjoying a few drinks. We heard reports of this scene early on. There was ease and fun in the group, but also clearly became tight-knit family from the first movie. But that doesn't mean that they're going to not give each other a hard time. So they all take turns in trying to pick up Thor's hammer, which is on the table. Tony Stark and Rhodey use their gauntlets. So basically they use their Iron Man hand armor. Couldn't pick it up. Bruce Banner practically hulks out and has no luck. But Captain America, well, he tried to lift the armor. It looked like he lifted up a little bit, and Thor gave this expression like, you know, he was kind of scared that he's not worthy. Yeah, of his hammer. You know,
Thor saw the prelude to him now losing his powers and having a female Thor come in.
He probably had like a vision or flashback, and then. And then the description continues, says, but the fun is disrupted by a very creepy moment as a broken up robot suddenly enters the scene, barely able to stand, almost hanging in midair like a marionette. It tells the team that they are all killers. This is, of course, now the voice of James Spader as Ultron. We see that it's one of Stark's Iron Legion. So basically, Tony Stark has created an Iron Legion. This is from rumors to take over the void that Shield has left, because Shield is now defunct, pretty much.
Yeah.
But one has clearly gone wrong. All of a sudden, more bots crash into the tower and attack. From there, we get a quick glimpse of action from the film. Cap in uniform is busting through doors of some kind of a compound, possibly Baron von Strucker's headquarters, where we see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch imprisoned at the end of Winter Soldier. And we see those two in action too briefly, with Quicksilver running at super speed and leaving a bluish trail in his wake, while the witch did her wave hand thing, and she does so well. Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor faced off against the Hulk. It might be training, or him trying to test out the armor, as well as what we saw in the concept as they are fighting together. We do see Banner huddling in a blanket at one point, having some kind of inner turmoil, as well as a quick shot of Black Widow lifting her hand up to the Hulk, which seems to imply that she can soothe the beast, which also actually ties into the first movie, as they say. We also get the Ultron's voiceover to a Vision. We might be referencing Vision himself altogether. And then we get a glimpse of Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis, the guy who plays Caesar and Gollum, as a human character, not in motion cap in this movie. So we have no idea what he's playing. It all culminates with an apocalyptic moment with Stark fighting Captain America's shield, which is broken. And as the camera pulls back, we see an array of bodies: Cap, Thor, all the Avengers. Is it a dream? Is it something more? Whatever. But they're clearly on the floor, and they look like they're either dead or broken. And the last thing we see is Ultron in a new shiny body. Boom. And that's the trailer description, or at least the footage description of Avengers Age of Ultron. So what do you guys think?
It sounds cool. My only concern, actually, a friend of mine had the same concern. Was like, okay, basically they're probably going to tone down Ultron in some sort of sense if we're moving to Thanos in Avengers 3, and it's like, okay, you're gonna, Ultron is a pretty tough character to kind of break and kill. So
Well, his whole body's made of what's it
what was
called?
it?
Uh,
Vibranium and
Vibranium and adamantium, right?
adamantium, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how you gonna tone it down? So I'm curious to see how they'll dispose of him. I don't think they'll get rid of him, but if they do get rid of him, I kind of be upset. There's actually a previous report that's saying there's some sort of um, I guess a romantic chemistry between Hulk and Scarlet Witch. I guess after their first encounter, so I guess that's why she can soothe the beast. Let me see what else.
Yeah, they did hint on that at some level. How about you, Sam? What do you think?
I haven't really seen the footage, but um, I'm very keen to see basically how that whole dynamic between basically having Wanda Maximoff and her brother, what's his name? What's his name?
Quicksilver.
Pietro.
Pietro Maximoff, yes. How basically both of them, how that whole weird relationship interaction with them is going to play on screen. Because that, even reading the comic, that is the grossest brother sister interaction I've So it's like, they, it, because he's very protective of her. They're twins. It's just the way they've always been drawn together. Let's put it this way: they are brother sisters who are drawn like lovers every single time. Like you see them, they're either holding somehow. So it's like, I hope they don't do that in the movie because that's going to be really.
So you're saying they shouldn't bring a little bit of that Game of Thrones fever
No,
over?
they should not bring. Okay, there's so much happening in this already where you can't start basically, you can't address the fact that basically the Iron Man suit is really no longer a suit but rather nanobots. You can't address the fact that Eric Banner has gone back and, oh, should I say, or yeah, no, not Eric Banner. What's
No,
his name?
Eric Banner, Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner has gone back and forth and tried to learn how to control to control the Hulk. And the Hulk might be able to talk or might not be able to talk. You can't address the fact that Thor, at some point in time, might have lost his way. Captain America might have actually picked up the hammer before this Age of Ultron actually happened. You can't address the facts. You can't address so many things that happened before this. You can't address the fact that Hawkeye has died at least once or twice already. You can't address all of that and how everything plays together. So you just basically have to do it as a very shallow characters doing what they do best, saving the world. Right?
Well, some of the things that they're trying to do, and I think it kind of maybe plays to it, is that so the basis of Ultron comes from Tony Stark. So now we can safely say that Tony Stark is the guy responsible for Ultron, not Hank Pym, as we know in the comic books. Now, as hardcore comic book fans, we're like, really, why? But with the story arc that they've done in the whole Marvel universe, it's the closest thing that makes sense because he has this AI in Jarvis made that really is, can really supersede what he does other than a personal assistant. So if Jarvis now is put in to now be Iron Legion, because he's like, all right, I'm no longer Iron Man. I mean, I have my main suit, but I'm just going to create all this armor to roam around the world and do this stuff. And, it's supposed to be learning and then you either, now my thing is Jarvis going to split in two as an AI? One becomes Vision, one becomes Ultron, or will it be back to the old comic book story of Ultron now creates Vision because that's his, his vision for what he wants to accomplish? Is that what's going to happen? And Vision turns on him because a little part of Jarvis is still in there, or whatever the case may be. That to me is the most important part out of all this, because if it's not executed right, then you're not going to get a solid, character base here. I think for each character, I think the character that has probably the best foot moving forward is probably Captain America, just because his movie just finished and the way his movie ended, unlike say Iron Man or even Thor, it's actually well stated, almost out, right? He disbanded Shield. He doesn't trust them. The only people he trusts are his Avengers buddies because they were there for him in the first, in Avengers 1 and that kind of thing, altogether. Somebody asked a question: isn't Thor in Asgard? Well, Thor left Asgard at the end of the Thor 2 movie to come and see Jane in Earth, so he's back on Earth, hanging out with his girlfriend, so to speak.
Besides, he rides the waves of lightning. He can show up whenever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, true. So I mean, there's some questions there, but I think this movie is following at least sort of a natural progression. And the only problem I have is that how are you going to connect Thanos now? And is Ultron a stopgap? Because for me, Ultron is a great villain because you can always bring him back.
Yeah.
But is he now just a stopgap villain, kind of like Iron Man 2 with Whiplash, to Thanos? Because we know Thanos is coming. We know Thanos is the main deal. Is he that stopgap to Thanos, or is it something else? Because, like we know, for instance, in the DC universe, the rumors are immediately for Justice League, it's going to be Darkseid, but they may never actually fight Darkseid, or Darkseid may win the battle. Like every Justice League movie with Darkseid, they never actually beat him. They just send him back home.
Yeah, like kick him out.
They send him back home in the boom tube. That's it.
Basically, he's the bad guy who's like, I want to take over the world, but it has to be easy. If it's not easy and if Superman shows up and kicks my ass a little bit, I'm just gonna turn around and go home.
Go home, exactly. So that's the question there, is that how will they actually do it in this one with Avengers to make it fit? Now, I mean, we all like the casting choices. I mean, the one cast member that I do not like is, and I like Jeremy Renner though, is Hawkeye. Or maybe just the way he's been used is that, again, in this movie, from all indications, just from his crappy costume, you can tell that he's going to be thrown away. Or at least he might. Somebody's going to die. Somebody has to die.
The truth of the matter is, Hawkeye, at some point, he's a character that has a lot of background to him, but he's also a character out of time, Like, he uses a bow and an arrow. There's a reason why Arrow is a TV show, right?
I mean, there's a reason why Arrow is a TV show, but there's also a reason why Arrow is such a great TV show. The difference with Arrow and Green Arrow and Hawkeye is that Green Arrow has a personality. Even in the comic books, Green Arrow is the only other person who Batman respects is actually Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, he's a hippie.
He doesn't care. It's like, look, dude, I'm like you. I'm rich. You're a sport kid. We all went through training. Big deal. So stop messing around and give me that dark voice. You want to talk to me? Let's talk.
But the thing is, I think Hawkeye has a very, very storied past, man.
No. He does. He does. But what I'm saying is that if you think about Green Arrow as a character and think about Hawkeye as a character, right? Yeah. Green Arrow has slept with half the Justice League, all the female members. Let's just put it that way. Other than Wonder Woman and Catwoman, if she joins once in a while, because that's Batman's babe. He has not touched those two. That's it. Then, he has his backstory with Black Canary, on and off love interest. He's got the sidekick that has anger issues, no tomorrow with Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then also he's also that rich boy too, who has his own rich boy issues altogether. And then you look at Hawkeye, who has more of a military past. That to sell that is a little bit harder to sell, unless you want to do it with Black.
Yeah, no, Frank Castle and Hawkeye share very similar stories. I think like there's a universe. What?
Wasn't Hawkeye a criminal at first? Like a bad guy, thief, then became a hero?
I think it was, you see, that's the thing, I think it was his wife and child were killed as well. That's when he became like a hero. There's been so many backstories to him, like a few backstories to him. But he's also, I don't know, I just think he's just a good human being in, like, not mechanical costume who shoots the hell out of arrows.
Yeah. I just don't think he's been used right. And
what?
I don't think he's been used right. Not to say that he could be great, but he could be a bit more value to the team.
Well, exactly. But you know why he hasn't been used right though? Hawkeye in the comic books it's like a lighter version of Deadpool with his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Hawkeye and people like him, right? People who have those kind of abilities, they talk. I mean, it's almost not even Green Arrow to a certain degree, even though he does the Playboy talk, but he's always talking about how he can do stuff. because they feel like with an arrow it's so hard for you to, being that talisman who can hit a target how many miles away with an arrow and calculate wind speed and all that crap. They all think that they are like, the best thing, known to man. But in the first Avengers movie, he was brooding, and then he was, taken over by Loki half the time. So I was like, man, like
they said
I like Hawkeye as a character, but
yeah, they said him and Black Widow are supposed to have bigger roles or bigger parts to play in this one.
yeah, I know Black Widow will, but I don't think. I mean, if they do a Black Widow movie, he should be in there. Do you need to bring that, at least tie in his past so he gets something? At least you get something, and you push the character also too. You push that universal push altogether. But who knows how it would be. But so I mean, in general, what do you think about before we move on to the next couple of topics? What do you think about Avengers: Age of Ultron, the poster, the trailer, description, all that stuff? Like just a quick summary. Wow.
Batman, Superman, man.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. It just sounds like they didn't give enough to really like upstart the thing. Like they should have had Ultron, show a clip of Ultron or show not give away everything, but show something that, like I said, half the report that scene has been leaked report wise.
Yeah,
so
for a while.
It's been leaked for a while. It's like, oh, like people already heard about it.
It did come out in Entertainment Weekly, the image of the scene anyway, the beginning of the scene, where they're all like chilling it. So yeah, you're right. It's something that's been out for a while. So I agree. There's a little mare factor to it. Maybe you should show me more of that. Maybe more of that Hulkbuster and Hulk suit fight.
Yeah, they could have showed that, and you'd have been like, oh, I want to see what's that about.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some of that. So the fact that Batman and Superman are just doing a stare battle. Just a straight up white eyes, red eyes, looking at each other like, I'm going to take you down. Or maybe just looking at each other like, whoever wins this gets Louis Lane. Go.
Pancakes or waffles.
Anyway, which storyline do we go with? Louis Lane or Wonder Woman? Who are we going with this time?
Sorry. Exactly, man. Could be
first.
Exactly. Could be that. Satisfaction Acts. Both trailers out now for Age of Ultron and Batman Superman. Batman Superman, that probably won't come out. It's all leaked stuff. Age of Ultron, who knows? There might be something with Guardians of the Galaxy, or they might not be. That's the only occasion that, yeah, they probably could do something like that in there, but I don't know what it will be. But speaking of other things at Comic-Con, so those are the two big ones, DC, Marvel. But also we had a couple other things. They announced a sequel to Godzilla, and they announced that Godzilla will be fighting Rodan and Mothra and one more person in there coming out in.
Starts with a G.
Yeah.
Are they bringing Godzuki?
No.
Stop it with that Godzuki crap, man. Seriously.
What? Godzuki was awesome.
Yeah, right.
I'm about to just hit you, man. Seriously. This is where, like, when the slap reaches through the TV, right? It comes like this. Yeah. That's the one. It's going to be directed by Gareth Evans, and it's coming out in, I believe, 2016. So there's a Godzilla sequel. Godzilla was a cool movie.
And they just do it the same way they did the other one, where they put a big major star to start and then kill him off. But in the previews, show him mostly, so people think he lasts through the whole thing.
Yeah. Probably. The other thing too also is Guardians of the Galaxy has been greenlit for a sequel. Coming out 2018?
17?
2017.
I think 2017.
Yes. 2017, and it's going to be written and directed by James Gunn, the writer and director of the first one, altogether. So that is coming.
I haven't seen that movie yet. When does it come out anyway?
The first.
Okay.
Yeah, basically this Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, the first
Thursday night or whatever.
Yeah, Thursday night, whatever date you have for it. So that's that on the. I think that's pretty much on the major movies. Oh yeah, the Mad Max Fury trailer is available now. We haven't checked it out yet, so I'll probably do another video, do a trailer description. But from what I heard from Comic-Con, they said is as crazy as the original Mad Max, and maybe even crazier. So Get ready.
Who's playing Mad Max now?
Bane, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah. Tom Hardy's Mad Max. Yeah. And yeah, so I almost forgot. Legendary. So Legendary Pictures, who did teamed up with Man of Steel, they're not doing Batman Superman. They've kind of split with WB. But of course they did Godzilla. They announced a sequel for Godzilla, and they're also bringing back King Kong, but it's an original film called Skull Island. So basically, it's actually King Kong on the island. None of that taken to New York stuff that we've had before. So there's a new King Kong movie coming out, and we'll see then. So that's that on the movie basis. Going to TV, some of the TV stuff. They did show a full trailer of Arrow for season 3, and the big baddie is Ra's al Ghul will be showing up on Arrow. Because you know what, he's a villain you can use any point in time and anywhere in the DC universe.
They've been leading up to him, so.
Yeah, they have been, and I mean, they didn't show who he was. They probably haven't cast the character. They just showed somebody in regalia. They panned around. You could see his hands. He looks like, I mean, in this depiction, he looks like he's dressed like a king, or ruler of sorts, because he has all these, diamond and gold rings and this beautiful looking sword and all that stuff. So.
It sounds like the villain from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. so yeah, we will be seeing Ra's al Ghul in that. They also showed the trailer for Walking Dead season 5.
Yeah.
That was looking intense.
Yeah.
That was looking very intense for Walking Dead. A lot of stuff going on. I don't know who's going to be. You know how it is. You don't know who's going to die, but when they do, you're like, oh man. Yeah, so I just say, guys, check it out. The trailer's up for Walking Dead season 5, up there, and whichever TV shows did they premiere? I mean, they premiered Gotham, which also got a good
Gotham
reviews.
trailer. Yeah, that showed that corruption goes in crazy.
Yeah, they showed that, and then also Flash. Now, if you're on the web, you know how to get stuff on the web. Flash pilot has been out for a while.
Couple months, yeah.
Couple months, and it's got good reviews from people in general. Everyone said, "Look, you know what? It's good. It's like the Flash. It's got all the elements of Flash himself, and also it's got Reverse Flash in there too. So it looks like at least they're taking Flash in that direction of where we've thrown in there. They cast Captain Cold. They cast Firestorm in it too. So everything you can think of in the Flash universe or DC universe that relates to Flash is in there. I think they also mentioned of Gorilla Grodd is also in the pilot of Flash. Not him himself, but there's reference to Grodd in the pilot. So there's a lot of stuff in that Flash universe. They're like, look, it's DC. We're just hitting the ground running. We're just going to throw everything out there.
DC's they're really pushing for a lot of IPs now.
Yeah.
And they already said that we're not even wasting time. They're like, yeah, episode 8, we're doing Flash Arrow crossover. Let's go.
Yeah, they're doing a 2-hour crossover between Flash and Arrow. Basically, they're like, look, we have these IPs. We might as well just make it work. And
it would have been great if they were able to do this when they had an amazing TV show, which was Smallville, probably the best Superman TV show ever. But, yes
and no. See,
you by yourself with that.
I'm not myself with that. It was one of the best TV.
No.
It started off great.
Smallville was great till maybe season 6 at tops.
Then
after that.
Started incorporating Doomsday and all this other silly stuff.
Yeah. It was just too much incorporating the stuff that you just.
Yeah, around the time I stopped watching it, but it was still good for at least 5 minutes.
Exactly. No. The first 5 seasons, I remember when they did the whole thing with Christopher Reeves, and like that. That was. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff in there. I agree with that. But I mean, Warner Brothers. So what do you think? Warner Brothers creative head. I can't remember his name now. Well, anyway, creative head basically said that DC's cinematic universe will not cross over with DC's TV universe.
Yep.
What do you think? Because the TV universe right now, they're throwing everyone in. So in Arrow, right? Arrow finished up. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it. Last season of Arrow, basically Green Arrow lost his company. What's the name of the company again? Queen Industries.
Yeah.
And in this season, the Atom is coming to buy his company, Ray Palmer, who's also one of the rich guys in DC Universe. So they're introducing all these DC characters in there, like a whole bunch. I mean, granted, they're all like B-list characters or even C-list characters, but then you now have Batman, Superman on, in the cinematic universe, and there's no crossover there at all. They're like, it's going to be separate. It's going to be two different worlds. So, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think it's something that should or shouldn't cross over at all?
They can do it right. You know what? They could have crossovers where people are mentioned, but nothing is shown.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you reference Batman and Superman, like, yeah, those guys don't hang out with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would. I would love to see that. Like, how in Arrow they always have like in the basement he has all these people that help him out, right? And then they're like, somebody strong shows up, and they're like, why don't you call like Superman or Batman? I mean, those guys, and he just looked at me like, really? Nah.
They're too cool to hang out with us.
Exactly. I think that would be cool to be if it was mentioned. I mean, what to me would be cool would be one of those things if they do like kind of what Agent of Shield did in some of their crossover stuff, which I wish DC did, was you don't have to bring Batman over, right? But Bruce Wayne has assistants. One of his assistants was going to show up in this movie.
Yeah.
That assistant comes over and is like, you know what, Oliver, Queen Industries is suffering. So to help you guys out, Wayne Tech is going to buy 10%. I don't want to control it. He doesn't care, but
that would be stuff like that would be interesting. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a crossover,
but they still might do stuff like that because they said they won't collide. So I mean, that's not really colliding. It's just using other IPs.
Yeah, true. It's not colliding, especially if you're using like connecting characters, but not the main. I mean, you're definitely going to see Superman show up in Arrow's world, just to even make any sense, because he just go like this.
Yeah. Like, who's getting in trouble? This guy? Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Exactly, right? Or I mean, yeah, even in Flash's world, even fine. What I would still love to see is that Flash Superman race. Even though it was a very funny episode in the comic books and in the cartoon. But just to see the fastest guy, to see that Flash is actually faster than him.
Yeah.
Because that's when they introduced the Speed Force. Because he taps into the Speed Force and then he runs at the speed of light. So I mean that would be cool to see, but we're not going to see that, at least for now anyway, in this universe. So.
They may change. Things may change in next season. It's like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah, never know.
Still have, by the time the season ends, Batman v Superman still ain't gonna be out yet. So
that's true, though. Yeah, that is so true.
You know what? What the F are we thinking? Let's do something.
that is very true. That's still not gonna be out yet. And any other major news at Comic-Con? Oh, they also showed Constantine trailer. Constantine's shaping up to be looking pretty good as far as I've seen. Have you guys seen anything from Constantine?
I saw the original one. I didn't see the newer one. I did read that somebody's doing a DC Dark Universe movies or something that will be separate from the cinematic.
Yeah, it depends on if that happens. What's his name? The director of Pacific Rim.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Zatanna.
Yeah, he wanted to do a Justice League Dark movie, but no one knows if that's going to show up or not. So
that's basically the whole occult, right?
Yeah, exactly. The whole occult.
If Constantine work out, they'd be like, you know what? Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah. Constantine is an interesting character. He deals with very uncomfortable subjects.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot, and it's on NBC. There's going to be, like, if that show was, say, on Stars or Showtime or HBO, we would see everything you can think of in there.
Crazy.
But since it's on NBC, but from what I've seen, there's an NBC show. They've tried to tailor it as much as they can, since it's a traditional network TV show. So it'll be interesting to see what Constantine, pops out in there. But I think that looks.
They should have done it with Netflix.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I think Marvel will probably like, no, don't let them do it.
Yeah, because Netflix has a deal with Marvel right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. A couple of things here. Elseworld Cinema. When's the giveaway? When is going to be announced? Next Hangout video, weekly Hangout. Sorry, dude, not this one. Did you hear about the Last of Us movie that was announced?
Yes.
Please do share. What did they announce of Last of Us?
They announced it. I think they gave it a. I'm not sure if they gave it a date, but they're trying to get the chick Ariana Stark to play the girl.
Oh, okay.
I think they didn't get into too much detail. It was just kind of like, all right, it's coming.
When the actress that should play her is, we already all know the actress that should play.
Yeah, but Ellen Page is also not that young anymore.
Yeah, I mean, she tried to sue him.
And she tried to sue them also. So
I don't think she's gonna be very cooperative.
Nah. And also, again, to me, no. After seeing, I haven't played the game, but I've watched videos of the game. After seeing that, I can see Ariana Stark just because eventually her character mans up, or at least steps up in that game. And
Ariana Stark? Who's Ariana Stark?
Ariana Stark, come on.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Arya, Arya.
Yeah, Arya.
Excuse us.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a real actress. So I'm like, I was Arya.
No.
So imagine Arya in that. I mean, knowing how she's progressed in Game of Thrones as being, daddy's little girl trying to learn something cute, and then going all the way to just being a cold-hearted killer.
She would do well.
I think she would fit in that role quite well. Satisfaction, the Marvel trailer you just read out. When is that meant to come out? I don't know. Again, it's just something you should have Comic-Con. They might release it as a trailer at some point, and they might not release it as a trailer. So it all depends altogether. And then Warcraft movie was also showcased in there. They showcased Warcraft. A lot of good reception from it. The guy who plays the main character in Vikings is the main human character in Warcraft.
The main character in which movie?
The TV show Vikings is a History Channel TV show about a famous Viking. I can't remember his name, a Viking character again, but
probably Eric Erickson.
No, it's not Eric Erickson. I know that. But it got a lot of good reaction. They said the orcs look fantastic, very realistic. And it was not a story. The way the story is being told is not good or bad. It's about sides. Every side has its own decision to make. Good. Yeah. So it looks like they have something good there, and that might be the very first good video game movie, pretty much.
Yeah, no. I think someone would mention it. When would all the video game movies start? Coming out. And
yeah, Uncharted just got they're gonna do an Uncharted movie. Like I think they have a date now.
Yeah, they do have a date for Uncharted, but I agree Uncharted will be a good one. But I think Warcraft is the first movie that really will just set things apart for all the video game movies if it's done well altogether. I think that's probably the place that things will start, with all these movies all together. But any other major announcements or any other announcements there?
So I can think of major. Everything else is like, this had came out, nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing I can think of.
Batman Shin.
Halo had this trailer earlier.
Yeah, I saw it. I
don't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah. Thank you. That's probably the right thing to say. It's like
looking like, why would I want to watch this? It's like, it's not Master Chief. Who cares?
It's not even a matter of Chief. How like they've tried. At least they've created successful heroes as Master Chief and all the Spartans are the last line of defense. But they also have the guys who drop down. What's it called again? DSC, and they had a good story. Those guys were like the best humans you could be, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought this story is going to be at least with those guys kind of linked towards Master Chief and finding something. And I see this dude without no armor just walking around, and it's just so happened between Halo 4 and 5. I'm like, seriously? Who's this guy?
And why should we care?
Exactly. Why should I care?
He's Master Chief's water boy. Okay, that's why we.
You know, Master Chief is like 15, right?
I know, but like it's huge as hell. It's like a giant size, right?
Yeah, he's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah, it's retarded.
You know, genetically modified. Or the story. You know what? This story could have been the creation of Master Chief, and not actually show Master Chief, but all the failed attempts of trying to get there.
That would be awesome. That would
That's
be.
the
I'd
story.
watch
Like,
that.
just that whole idea of, you know, we're losing this battle. We need to do something. They tried different things, mechanical suits, you know, genetic augmentation of just regular individuals, and they now figured out we need to start with children.
Yeah.
And there's so much political debate about it, and like why and this and that, and then you're like, look, we are going to die as a race.
Yeah.
If
So
you don't do this. I mean, that would have been a perfect, because if you have that, I swear to God, that's something you can put on network TV.
Yep.
You can put it out there and say, you know what, this is not a sci-fi show. To me, it's taking that Battlestar Galactica approach of, doesn't matter whether they're robots or not. This is all about human behavior, politics, and what's someone going to achieve from doing this or not. That's it. Not telling me a story about some black dude running around. I mean, I'm just saying, you guys, like, there's could have been something so much better in there with that Master Chief stuff. So
yeah.
I was a bit disappointed with that.
We cut the miner, but he said the source. It's hell. I'm like, okay, woohoo!
Oh yeah. Oh god. I mean, no, that was not cool. It was not cool. Any disappointments from Comic-Con in general for you?
Warcraft. I didn't see the footage. That's the only.
Well, they didn't show.
They didn't show like any footage. You just gotta.
No, they showed footage at Comic-Con, yeah, but
but nothing like outside of that. So you gotta find whoever like
They just have to
recorded
Warcraft
live or something.
like burning up. Like, ooh, nice.
Yeah, you should.
I think my own slight disappointment is as even though DC killed it with that 40-second footage, I wanted them to announce everything they were coming out, especially after The Rock just told us.
Yeah.
Just told us.
Yeah, they didn't do it. Yeah, they didn't.
After The Rock just literally told us, like, I've been working. He didn't say I've been working with a company. He said I've been working with DC and Warner Brothers, and I'm going to play a character who can stand toe to toe with Superman. He didn't say Iron Man. He didn't say Hulk. He mentioned, you know, the granddaddy of all superheroes, Superman. So I'm expecting them to say The Rock to come out and just scream Shazam. I'm like, that's DC winning front and back right there, gone. Case closed.
He could be Darkseid.
Oh.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
I didn't think about. Nah. He won't be. No, he won't.
He could be.
Darkseid, but Darkseid would be mostly CGI.
Dude,
mocap CGI.
Darkseid is bigger than Superman.
Yeah, but you don't have. Remember, in Man of Steel, the big Kryptonian was fighting. The guy was only 6 feet tall, and he had like this prop on the top of his head as they were doing the scene, and they just used CGI on the rest.
Yeah, but if you want to get a fight like that going, you want someone like The Rock, man. Just imagine The Rock playing Darkseid.
I mean, true, but I think for The Rock, you want him to be a character that you can keep using and also get people to buy in more than, say, Darkseid. You know what I mean? Like, having him as Shazam is just you creating a whole new set of, like, okay, this is another superhero that we now have elevated. It's like saying, it's like using Robert Downey Jr. in the right role as Iron Man, right? You just created a whole new fan base of people, I mean, altogether.
Yeah, but as Shazam, though, I don't know. The Rock as Shazam.
He could pull it off. He could play. He could play the noble guy, and he could be like, say some 11. You know, what is he supposed to be, like 10, 11, and say some kid shit like, "Oh, it's a hard day. I'm going to go fly back and have some Lucky Charms." And I'm like, what?
Remember, he did play the movie Tooth Fairy, even though that was a very Disney-esque movie. He still did that. Like he can actually pull that off very well, easily.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I saw that. I was like, oh wow, really, Rock as a Tooth Fairy? But everyone was like, yeah, it's a Disney movie, but he did it well. You know? Yeah. So I think you having him as that, I think works. But like I said, I was just bummed out that DC didn't announce his roadmap. But then again, this is DC. They like to do press releases on Fridays
Yeah.
with their roadmaps anyway. So I think we probably get a press release in like 2 weeks of the roadmap of that, and then maybe after that we might get an image of all three in one poster.
That would be dope.
Because right now, I mean, if you're looking at how they've done the announcements for this movie, it's almost like they know it's 2 years, right? They've just been giving us this little, every month there's one new big announcement, in there. Here's, Ben Affleck as Batman. Here's the Batmobile. Here's a new picture of Superman right here. That was July. I mean, it's early this month, right?
Yeah.
Now here's Wonder Woman, and then so it's just gonna be just little things.
Nightwing.
No, the next person gonna show us is either all three or Jesse Eisenberg as Lex. One of the two.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna show. So I think the announcement of their slate of movies is probably
or the Batcave.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or the Batcave, something like that. Something that doesn't spoil the movie at all.
Yeah. Can we see a giant penny and a dinosaur?
Exactly. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see the Batcave or something like that, where it's not going to affect the movie, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, okay, that's great. That's cool. Wow, this is really in depth. Or maybe we will actually see a better look of that costume, his armored outfit.
Yeah.
In there. The fact that he has an armored outfit. We might see the arsenal. We might see more arsenals. I mean, they could spend time showing us Batmobile and other things without showing us anything in this movie.
They got enough time to tease us, so yeah.
They could spend so much time doing that. Oh, one more thing I did want to share. I almost forgot about it completely. Here. This wasn't part of Comic-Con, but this is from that movie that Fox is making coming out next year. That is leaked footage from Fantastic Four movie, and that is Ben Grimm.
Nice.
It looks huge, looks massive.
Looks good.
Does that fit your thought profile of Ben Grimm?
To me, yeah.
Okay.
But as far as like the rest of the story, it's like I don't know how excited one can actually get.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I see. I was listening and I can't remember who I was watching, but I hope what she meant, and also what's the actor again? Firestorm, his name.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan meant is that they are not using any previous storylines.
Yeah, not like we ditched the source material. Like what?
And I'm not saying that you're going to create from what it sounds like they're going to create a whole different origin for all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, just give us Fantastic Four story origin, and then you can do the story whichever way you want.
Yeah, because they're like, oh well, the script, they're like, yeah, the thing keeps changing every day. I'm like, that's
every comic book changes. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But for a movie, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah, and some of the excuses like, well, the Dark Knight trilogy did not use any specific story from Batman comic books. I was like, okay, even if I were to argue that, that every single character and character origin state is made the same. Even with what's his name? With I mean, the fact that in the Dark Knight trilogy they brought in a character named Alucard, who has only showed up in 2 Batman comic books, 2, as the false or alter ego of Ra's al Ghul, to use that as deception. To me, is you went in, you looked at the source material, and you say, okay, fine, this might be an expendable character, but I could use it for something else for a main character, and not say you just diss it and threw it out the window altogether. So, we'll see. We'll see with that. Satisfaction says, I think you should write the next Master Chief movie storyline. I already gave it to them, but they're giving us the black guy running around finding some mine. So I'm done with that one. But anyway, guys, any comments before we round up about Comic-Con? Anything you want to add, state?
I got a question for you guys. All right, if The Rock isn't Shazam or Darkseid, then who?
Well, for me, I know he said he's not Green Lantern. I saw the video interview. He said not Green Lantern.
Want to see him Green Lantern.
He's either Shazam or he's gonna be Black Adam.
Black Adam.
I don't see him being Black Adam because that's using him less as a franchise mover. Even though he doesn't die, he's not gonna come back in the second movie, right? It's gonna be
why don't we think people like what is his name again? If we're gonna go genetic construct kind of thing, he could be
Lobo.
He could be Lobo.
Oh yeah,
Lobo has gone toe to toe with him. He could be. You're going toe to toe with Superman. Maybe he could be what's his name? The guy who killed him.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. It could be Doomsday. There's so many options, man. Superman is strong, but there've been people there who put him in his place.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very small crew of people. It's Darkseid, Doomsday, Lobo, and then Shazam can match him in strength, but I don't think he's ever actually beaten him. So that's saying 4 characters, right? That's it. Oh, unless he's Parasite.
I think that would be a way.
They make Metallo jacked.
Yeah, Metallo does not need to be jacked. He just needs to have kryptonite.
He's a regular dude. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I know you had mentioned that. You were asking if there's going to be kryptonite in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he didn't... Well, what he said was there was no kryptonite in Man of Steel, but he didn't say they won't introduce kryptonite to this. Now, there's nothing official. There's no rumor. This is my own theory of kryptonite. Kryptonite is just like uranium in my mind, right? Uranium is poisonous to human beings. Kryptonite is poisonous to Kryptonians. The one thing from Krypton that they have on Earth is the fuel that they use to power their ships, which comes from the core of Krypton.
Krypton itself. Yeah, you
exactly.
just said that. Yeah.
So if that is around from all the wrecked ships they have, there's enough kryptonite to go around. That to me, that's the most logical and easiest way, because there's no way the pieces from his planet are going to float here. I mean, it's just impossible the way they've structured these movies.
Yeah, especially like he's been here God knows how long. Like, oh, these pieces from your planet, they just got here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't take 30 years. They probably take longer than that.
Yeah, like guys would be dead before the thing actually hits.
Exactly.
Well, everybody but Superman. But
yeah, he might be still alive at that point, but I mean, it's pointless, altogether. So I think that's probably the kryptonite they're talking about. Yeah. I want to see how they do Wonder Woman's origins. They may not touch on her origins in this movie, but if they eventually do a Wonder Woman movie, is she going to be? Are they going to be? Is she going to be made by gods? Are they going to go the Marvel way of pseudoscience, another dimension, or what a lot of people have rumored that she's actually part Kryptonian, part human?
I don't want to see that.
You know the reason why, right? From Man of Steel, one pod was open, and in the Man of Steel prequel comic book, Kara, his cousin, basically left that pod like when he crash landed 1,000 years earlier. So maybe she started her own race of people, and it ended up being the loins of Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Sam, you got this look on your face.
Nah, I think that's just their way of bringing in Supergirl. Wonder Woman, they have to go with the God stuff, because one thing about DC that they've been very clear in doing is they basically just put it out there that these guys have the power of gods. Like, no, they're not human. They're just, you can't go. They're meta-human. They have the power of gods. Vis-a-vis the comic, I mean the game. What's it called? Universe Gods Among Us or whatever.
Yeah, Injustice Gods Among Us.
Yeah, Justice League Gods Among Us. They just have to do it. They got to do it that way. They have to bring some kind of. She. Let's just put it this way. She is the female answer to Marvel's Thor. End of story.
Yeah.
Wow. You call her a female answer to Thor? That's saying Thor is weak.
No.
I'm just messing around to see your reaction.
Here at Booredatwork, we think all genders are equal in their strength, because we all have gives and takes, pluses and negatives.
We all know Wonder Woman can whoop half of either universe.
Actually, I think Wonder Woman will probably kick Thor's ass.
Oh yeah, she can.
I agree. Yeah,
definitely can. I don't know. The thing about Wonder Woman is if they get that portrayal from Justice League War of her fighting in this movie, or even if it's just a little bit of that, because what I think I liked from Zack Snyder in his female portrayal, especially with what's her name from Man of Steel,
Lois Lane.
no, not Lois Lane, General Zod's
I can't remember her name, but yeah,
second in command.
yeah.
The way she was kicking Superman's ass, she was like, "Look, let me
Like,
just, I'm
she
a
should be
warrior."
running the show.
Yeah, like you, just some fanboy. Let me show you how fighting really works, because evolution really just works in my favor, not yours. To me, some of that in there, I think it'll be fine. We'll see that strong female character where she can have her own movie, and then you expand that universe altogether. So I think that's a good thing altogether. Couple of comments here. Goku versus Superman movie is needed. No, that's just destroying the planet. You might as well call it that, and with a massive spirit bomb. Just finish it. Elseworld Cinema says, I think we should see a Samurai Jack movie. That would, animated movie of Samurai Jack, yes.
You have to be kind of tongue in cheek, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. He says, an Attack on Titan movie. Yes, there is one.
Oh yeah.
Animated movie, not what do you call it again? Live action. But there is
no, it has to be live action.
That's gonna be a little tricky, but yeah.
Oh, dude, it has to be live action. Just think about it. Think about it a little bit. Think about the Titans. It has to be live action. And I volunteered the lady who played, the Cylon, the blonde Cylon. I volunteered her for the female Titan.
Volunteered her for tribute.
Yeah. She hasn't done much though.
Yeah, I know. But the whole idea that Titans don't wear clothes.
I just completely disregarded your previous statement about Border
Thanks for just slapping away that whole Border Work respects women and all that. You're like,
that would be a very awkward movie to film, though. Like, really? None of the Titans have clothes? How do we film this thing?
Yeah, I know. Maybe blurred 1, 2, 3 parts like that, or one blurred part.
Everybody's gonna be standing next to a building.
It's like this, half out.
No, but Attack on Titan, that would be a tough one.
No, it's got to be animated, or at least CGI animated movie. That's pretty much it. The tops you can go with Attack on Titan, I think. Nothing more than that.
I don't think we're gonna see a Flash movie.
No, I see. That's the thing. That's one I really wanted to see. A Flash movie. That would be fun. Satisfaction said, Killer Croc, The Rock. No.
Go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah. Even if he could, that would be such a waste.
Yeah, it would be a waste of The Rock. Nah, not as Killer Croc. No, not at all.
About, like who The Rock might be, and there's some options out there.
Yeah, there is. There's more than we're probably thinking of right now. But that's why I posed the question. I'm like, what if we're wrong about our guesses?
Yeah, but someone like, I think what it is someone like The Rock, you want to maximize, what is like. Okay, take a look at this weekend's box office, right? The Hercules came in second, but it did higher than it was supposed to perform. It came in at $29 million. Hercules and Lucy came in first. Now, if you ask me between the two movies, I prefer Hercules.
Yeah, I heard Hercules a lot better. I heard that the trailers look terrible for it, though. Not terrible, but it's like...
It's not terrible. From the trailers, after watching the movie, there was no way you could, because the problem with Hercules was that I think the writer and director, it was, what's his name, the director of Rush Hour, Brett Ratner, right, couldn't necessarily decide with his writer if he wanted to make this tongue-in-cheek or he wanted to make it serious.
Okay. So
the movie's in between there somewhere, and there's some lines that people deliver, and you're like, that's funny, but, you didn't get the laugh you're supposed to get from it. And you could tell people thought it was funny, but it's kind of like, oh, yeah, that was funny. That kind of thing. That kind of thing where it's like, it almost passed you, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Aha.
Yeah, and then in some parts of the movie, it takes itself very serious. too, which is not bad. It's just that it just didn't. I think it didn't find its ground. So that's why in the trailers you really couldn't give it what it is. But the one thing about the movie that I think is great is they talk about, is he Hercules or is he Hercules? Is his name Hercules or is he really Hercules? You know, and they play that the whole movie. But because you watch it, you go, man, he's really strong. Nah, maybe. You know what I mean? Like they really play that up as much as they can. You know, even though like he clearly keeps saying, I'm not Hercules. From the very beginning of the movie, he's like, I'm not a god, come on, whatever. Like from the get-go.
Just a dude with a terrible beard about it.
Yeah, but you're like, wait, is he just pretending to be Hercules, or is he Hercules that's just kind of retired from, you know, battling the gods and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's got a nice element to it. And then Lucy, anyone who's seen my review of Lucy, I'll tell you, is 75% good.
And the tail end is that 25%.
Yeah.
Like, I heard that. It's like, as the movie progresses, it goes.
Yeah, that's a movie. Because of that, this weekend I actually went back and watched Limitless again. The Bradley Cooper movie.
Limitless a lot more.
And I really did, because like I thought Limitless was a little bit too artistic for me, in the sense that they were trying to do a little bit of, you know, mental artistry in there. But I'm watching the movie, I'm like, they actually thought out of what they wanted to do. Mm-hmm. They had a character, and in there, Bradley Cooper was like, I had a vision of what to do with my life. Make more money.
I love that movie. I got it right away. Yeah.
I was like, that's my man. Even though there were side effects, it's like, God, wait a minute. I gotta figure a way to deal with the side effects. Let me get my own chemist. Let me work this out. You know, let me do it, because I need to make that cash. You know, because I mean, no, seriously, you will always be thinking along the same lines.
Yeah, if you're the smartest person in the world, you can probably figure out how to, you know, remove the side effects.
Yeah.
But then he got to the point where it's like, all right, well, I know I'm cheating more or less, so let me do something good rather than just take all this money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's why I say I really appreciate that movie much more this weekend. I'm watching, I'm going, wow, okay. Like, this movie should have done more in the box office just for what it accomplished, because it just literally was a very simple way of saying, if you had that ability, what would you do? And this is just one guy's way of doing it, you know?
I'm surprised they didn't do it.
It was a different. It was released as a different date.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose Sam?
Yeah. Or maybe he's on a long hiccup.
Okay. Well, sorry, Sam, if you can't join us. But yeah, like I said, it was that was good a movie to appreciate. I'm not saying Lucy's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that be ready at some point to go, why did we turn left? Just prepare to ask yourself that question. Why did we turn left? That's all. You know, it's a good movie. I mean, the one thing I did like about it is Scarlett Johansson, her acting was superb. I mean, for what she was doing in that movie, you know, where it started, you know, from beginning to end, like she knocked it out of the park. And it's not as necessarily action oriented as you might think, but I've been seeing comparisons to Salt in terms of numbers and things like that. So maybe she will have a Black Widow movie. You know what? If they're gonna make a Black Widow movie, it has to be Black Widow, aka Shield style. You know, very espionage type stuff. You got to incorporate Hawkeye in there. You know, and I think Hawkeye needs to be in there. I think Hawkeye needs to be.
If they don't kill him off.
No, it could be a prequel movie. You could place it, like that could be in time. Like it could be way before this. So there's nothing that happens. You could actually set a date, say 1989. Boom.
Yeah, this is where I got the most red in my ledger.
Exactly right. Yeah, do that, and then you now have that, because that movie could be a reflection of if Hawkeye gets killed too, right?
Yeah.
If he gets killed, it could be a reflection movie, and then it just at the end of the movie moves to present day, and Hawkeye is dead. You know,
he's like, "Wow, you were pretty cool. Why didn't they use you like this before?"
Exactly. Yeah, so it could be that. It could be that all the way, but you know, who knows? But I think it's safe to say that 40 seconds of Batman versus Superman really just sealed the weekend. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I mean, I expected him to show something, but I thought maybe it was. I didn't expect him to do that actually. Yeah, but then again, this is Zack Snyder. The guy's like, he's a comic book geek to the core. So you can expect him. And again, he's I think he's a master of adapting imagery, especially after 300, where
Even
300.
Watchmen.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, okay, that's the thing. That's my question for this hangout, right? And I'm going to give winners something. But it's not really a question as a prize to win. I'm just going to pick randomly. But why do people not like Watchmen so much when, as far as I'm concerned, that was the closest adaptation to the movie, to the book, as much as you could get.
Yeah.
And even the change to the end was required. I didn't want a giant squid.
Yeah. They took out, the pirate stuff, and that's it.
Yeah. So why is that movie not liked or as revered as most people should? Give me your thoughts on Watchmen, and I will select a winner for that, and I will send something over, something comic book related. I'll announce that during the hangout this week. So, because I really want to know why people just don't like that movie at all.
My wife said it's too long. It was too long. But we saw it in the theaters. We was like, oh man, that guy's good. Like, asks aren't getting done. Like, this thing 2 hours, 3 hours long.
I mean, length of the movie, I agree. It is long. It's a long movie. It's like Lord of the Rings long too. So.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people weren't expected to be that long. So they're like, all right, let's watch out. Maybe 2.5, maybe 2.
I read the graphic novel again, maybe 2 weeks before it came out. I was prepared because that graphic novel is lengthy.
Yeah, it's how many issues is it? It's 12.
Yeah. I have the hardcover, so I just read the hardcover, and
okay.
I was like, man, this is. Plus, he didn't even touch on the other sub story with what's the character when the boy keeps reading the comic book about this other character, the guy who's a wrestler in it.
Yeah,
that plays a major part of the whole thing, but he just took that whole part out because he would have made it.
It would have been even
5 hours, something like that, altogether. So no, but yeah, guys, let me know what you think about that. And then before we round up here, Elseworld Cinema says, do you think we can see a Scorpion or Sub-Zero origin movie? No, I think stuff from Mortal Kombat, unless Warcraft,
Machinima style.
It's gonna be Machinima style, because they've granted technically a season 2, if you will, of Street Fighter, because that did pretty well. So the Capcom said they're gonna do another series, another Street Fighter series altogether in there. So we'll see. Sam says he has network issues, so sorry, Sam. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate you joining our hangout, throwing out some questions as we wrap up Comic-Con this weekend. But don't forget, subscribe to our channels. Definitely check out Tech Guy Smart Buy. Rod Scott there is I believe the chief editor of the site. It's got some cool stuff, good videos, so check it out. Subscribe to his channel. Check out his videos, And also, don't forget to subscribe to Board at Work. It's right there. It's Board at Work.
Don't forget to tell them why I'm about to say Watchdogs, oh Lord, why Watchmen was so long.
And let us know, why if you liked if you liked Watchmen, the movie, tell us why you did, and if you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it. You win a prize. So we'll announce the winners at the end of by the next weekly hangout video, which is next weekend. Otherwise, thank you very much, and always enjoy your entertainment.